You like? Exactly. All right, we are at the May 9th, 2024 Village of Minerva Park Council meeting. It is 7:05 p.m. and we will start with roll call. Councilperson Grant. Here. Councilperson Martin. Here. Councilperson McNamara is on his way, so we will update you as soon as he walks in. Councilperson Koss. Present. Councilperson Passion. Here. And Council President Camera is excused. Do we have a motion to approve his absence? There you go. All right. Do we have a second? Second. And then all those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? All right. And next we will do the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, next we have our meeting minutes. Is there first we'll have the April 25th, 2024 meeting minutes. Do we have a motion to approve? So moved. All those in favor? Any opposed? And any abstentions? Next, we have the work session minutes from May 2nd, 2024. Is there a motion to approve? So moved. And all those in favor? Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, next we will move to our village official reports, and we will start with Chief Mandel.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. You should have all received a copy of the report in your packet. I don't have any additional information at this time.
Perfect. All right. Next, we have Jeffrey Wilczek, fiscal officer, which he is not in attendance tonight. I've excused him. And I know you guys had a meeting. Do you have any updates for that tonight, Tom?
We had a little bit of streets meeting.
Oh, okay. So, if anybody has questions, feel free to reach out. And then next I have Mike Flickinger's report, which is our village engineer. This report is quite lengthy, so it will be updated online in the packet. The 2022 Storm Sewer Improvement Project, which is the Jordan Road project, it's in its final stages. It has been weather dependent, and as you guys know, in the last couple of days has not participated nicely. However, they did get a lot done. They have most of the backyards are sodded, so hopefully those will look wonderful in the next couple of days.
The only question I got from that was what happens if the sod doesn't take in that dirt, so we're just monitoring that situation.
Yes. So, hoping that doesn't happen. Task order 27 and 28 is the 2023 roadway improvement projects. I don't know why it says 23, but okay. The 2024 roadway improvement project will now include only Maplewood Drive. This one was scheduled to advertise on April 11th, which it did. Bids were open on May 3rd. We did receive a bid that is acceptable to award pending council's approval, and you guys will see that tonight. The maintenance building is still in the final detailed design. They're working on a couple final things for us because we decided to move the building back a little bit, so it has not gone out to bid as of today, but we are expecting that still to go out to bid by the end of the month. So, lake improvement detailed design, again, a lot of information on here. This is going to be posted online, so feel free to read through that, but they are still working on analysis, laboratory analysis, and all kinds of things with the lake improvement. The 2024 CCTV analysis, we are working with Business Sewer. If you've been driving around the village, you probably saw them. We did get an update today that one of the lines that we added, which was Parkland Court, so thank goodness we did that, is completely blocked. So they will be working with the resident at that property to kind of get in their flower bed and get that cleared out and cleaned out on Monday and Tuesday.
Resident is aware and okay with this proceeding.
Yes. So, thank you guys for adding that. We knew it was flooding. Hopefully this will help a little bit, but we'll see. So anyways, anybody with any questions, feel free to reach out to myself, and I can always get some answers from Mike Flickinger. Mike Flickinger's working on a couple other projects for us as well, which is just kind of some flooding in people's backyards and getting some final thoughts on those before we decide what to do. Next, we have Jesse Shamp with our legal team.
Thanks, Mayor. I can report. Happy to take any questions.
Anybody have any questions? All right, next we will move to Mr. Eric Fisher, Village Planning.
Thank you, Mayor, members of council. Mayor, before you came in, there was a request to update the council members on status of any lake money, so I did have some news to report, which I sent to you earlier today. Past couple of weeks, I'll give you a little bit of the brief history. So, some months ago, Brady Oxender brought to my attention that there was a special capital budget within the state of Ohio's budget this year we could apply for through our rep. Brady and I worked together, wrote an initial draft, he polished it, and we got that submitted. That amount was for $2.7 million to cover a lot of the costs of the lake. I will follow up with him. I don't know when exactly that would have feedback on that, but I would assume it's in the coming months. They just go through committees and reviews and things of that nature. Then 2 weeks ago, on a Thursday after 5 o'clock, I received an email from Warpsy, basically that brought to our attention that CFP money, which is community funding, possibly whatever the P stands for, but nonetheless, that there's a number of federal dollars that are available to the states and the states divvying out to individual applicants. There's several different members or congressional representatives, one of which was a the application for her was due the next day. I wasn't very amused when I saw this, but I concurred Brady to make sure that she was our rep into the redistricting. She's our great. So I proceeded the next morning to get on that. Unfortunately, it was not a terrible application to just get it in. Got that submitted. I used draft language from our state stuff, put that all together, gave all the information they wanted. Got a call the next day from her legislative director who was in DC, who was working serious hours just because he said everything was dropped on. It wasn't Morphe's fault. They got the stuff late as well. As soon as it had, I said, great. So worked on with him, and he's been great. His name is Casey Davison, legislative director for Congressman Beatty. Been in touch with him pretty much every other day in the last 2 weeks. Long story short, got everything. Gives more information than got everything submitted. We went back and forth because dredging is a no-no in some of these, so we worked it out to where they liked 4-bay construction, and we settled on that pathway, and the site work that works on the pathway, the bridge, everything like that. So should get we put in a request for $1.5 million as of today. Got 2 nice support letters, one from Wolsey and the county commissioner signed off on a nice letter. I'll send that around. County Commissioner Greg has actually used my application in a lot of language, and so it looks wonderful. Tied it all back together to some of the historical stuff going on here. We did try hard on dredging and argue for ecosystem restoration. It seemed that we weren't going to want the conservation positive money, but they were like, dredging, no. And I said, fine. So, happy to get, even if we have piecemeal money and do it different ways, that money will be available in fiscal year 25. We'll know more in the coming months, but our legislative director for Congressman Beatty is pretty excited. Seems to think we have a good shot at it because this year the House majority of the Republicans got rid of nonprofits. Normally Beatty's group puts 15 applications together, and she's got money for all 15. No nonprofits this year puts us in the driver's seat for municipalities, so we got slotted in there because we suddenly needed people, so we just have to get our application. So I am cautiously positive based on this feedback that money will be good for us soon. Nothing's done until it's done. And then the dredging part, the presidential side of the budget, there's money that we could get under that. We'll put in for the couple million under that post-August. So we'll be working again with her legislative director. So it's been an excellent partnership so far, and he's been going back for us, and looking forward to working with him again in the coming months. And so I'm hopeful between all of these different pots of money that we'll cobble together enough to make Mr. Wilczek happy to get over the fund project, which will be good.
Kurt's favorite word is no.
So that's
This
what
will
we
be a yes, because it's not our money.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes, yes,
Good
yes.
point. Good point, Mayor.
Yes.
So
use our
It
money.
was originally state and federal, but it's all coming back home, that's how you do it.
Mhm.
So,
It would be wonderful for our village and for the environment and for our residents.
right. And it's nice because one of the questions was, does anyone have experience administering federal granting? So, yes, I did now under 2009. So that was very helpful. So, those projects do come back to help out long-term with more federal money. So, I am pleased that we're moving in this direction. So, finding money somewhere, it's just going to be 25, 26, and so we'll work with Mike, obviously, and we'll go through the engineering, because Mike originally said he was doing dredging, he might be doing dredging, but it'll make the lake better overall, so it should be good.
And paths, I heard paths.
Yeah, we like that.
Good paths, good, well,
Right.
good, keep our residents healthy.
All right, do you have anything?
Oh, no,
not-
that's, I think all I've got, just whenever, I guess whenever you folks want to schedule something for a charter review, we want to keep that ball moving,
Okay.
to kind of discuss that a little more.
Okay.
Doesn't have to be tonight, we can do some of the work sessions, but we want to keep it moving forward.
Definitely when Jason's here, so I would say, because I know that that's definitely something he wanted to talk about, pros and cons. Okay, and then I know, amphitheater is moving along nicely, not to bring that back up.
Oh, yes, it's,
Yeah.
everybody's seen some of the progress, we're moving along, I said you'll see more stuff happening in the next month, and we're fully approved into that, so we'll get all of our money, and we spend up to $100,000 back on that one. So,
And I just want to take 2 seconds to thank you for all of that. This is something I haven't had to be involved in, which is great, because it's one thing I haven't had to do. He has literally done everything with the amphitheater, so full credit where credit is due. And same thing with working with all of these people trying to get us some lake money. This is something I have not had 5 minutes to deal with, and he has been dealing with all of it. So again, where credit's due, I'd like to point out, thank you. So, all right, anything else? And even if we don't get the money, thank you.
well, I think I'm confident you get some money somewhere.
I agree.
Want to get lots of money.
I agree.
We're fine.
All right, if anybody has any questions, you guys know how to find him and reach him, send him an email, call him. All right, John Canty's report is probably somewhere in the packet. So if anybody has any problems, questions, concerns, please reach out. I'm gonna make a little quick point to this, and just remember that a lot of violations are sent from your neighbors, but he does drive around the village most days. So for those that are upset about their complaints, just remember that he is out there doing his job to make our village exactly what we want it to be, a nice, clean place to live. So there are plenty more, as I drove in here this morning, there are plenty more violations out there, so hopefully we will get some of these grass ones cut and done here in the next few days. I did notice a couple people did get theirs done, so I appreciate the people that, it's the first time or two of the season, it's always like this, but sometimes some people just need a little push. So again, code enforcement officer is doing a great job. I do appreciate the fact that he's out there getting some of these things done. I know if you're getting violations, you're probably not thrilled. But just remember, a lot of these are coming from your neighbors and aren't happy with what they're looking at. So, not nice to say, but it's the truth. Okay, so let's move on to planning and zoning. Councilperson Grant.
Planning and zoning met on, we had a work session,
We did.
We had a work session.
We did.
And you guys were, sorry.
You guys.
It was 17.
Seems like 5 years ago.
Yeah.
We had a nice little meeting.
We did have a meeting. It was kind of what we were talking about with the, we're gonna, wow.
Talk about the frisbee golf.
Exactly. We decided that 2 additional holes would be the most beneficial at this time, and that's what we think we're going to propose. So we're taking the 7 holes that they have at Hawthorne, not Hawthorne, at Minerva France Elementary School. And then if you have an additional 2, it's kind of a soft start to see how the feeling goes and that people are enjoying it. And if you haven't been out there, you should go throw some discs at Minerva France, because it's nice, it's fun, it's in the open, it's outdoors, so like a small plug for that. Who knows? I know somebody who.
What was it about?
Mary Yost. Do we have anything else on Mary Yost? I think we're asking about Mary Yost and.
Eric and I
Yeah, that's pretty much it. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what's gonna probably brought
Okay.
to council, be a group for some, trying to find some money to, build some, 2 additional
Yeah.
disc golf holes.
And then our next meeting is, I'm gonna put everybody on the spot since
Yeah,
I'm really good.
that's fine. I've been,
May 15th?
May 15th, 7 PM.
That sounds
Here.
right.
It does sound right.
Yes, May 15th.
May 15th, 7 PM, it's here. All right, we will move then to MPCA, which is typically, Council President Camera is not here tonight. So the only thing that I'm gonna say about that is if you want information, pull up their website. But number 2, the one thing that I have been working on, and Jason and all of us with MPCA, is making our newsletter a little bit better. We are going to be expanding the newsletter. It's going to have a couple more pages. We are also thinking about doing the January edition in color, just kind of like an end of year, beginning of year, like something to draw people's attention and all that. But just having a little bit more space for the village to put some additional things. There's so much that we can put in there. My concern is making it too big, then people aren't going to read it. So there's a fine line between what I think is sending it to, I've always said it's very important for me to send it to every single person's house, because that is the number one thing that I know everybody at least has in their hands. What they do with it is on them. But it's something that I feel like if we get too big, then people are barely going to, they may not read it as much. So this one's going to be 6 pages. Super excited to get that rolling, and that's going to come out next month. The June edition is going to have some additional info. So, looking for you guys to also contribute to articles and things like that in there now that we actually have space. So, that is my report for MPCA. And next we will move to our village, I'm going to still call them committee reports, and we will start with streets. Councilperson Foss.
Streets had a meeting prior to this. We just kind of revisited everything that Mike Flickinger talked about. We also just talked about the update about how Park Lane Court is 100% obstructed and how to proceed with that. So we'll take that over to legislation and go from there. Actually, we should ask Jeff Wolchek too. Please.
Yes. I did talk to Mike Flickinger when we did the bid openings, and we did have a conversation about him potentially coming in June. We will probably make that as a complete work session of just Mike Flickinger. It's going to be focused on the lakes. I'm saying that now for anybody listening. We do not have a date for it yet, but it is going to be kind of, here's where we are, where you guys want to go, because we've never actually had that meeting with this group. What's our next steps? We know we're trying to get money, but what is our thoughts? What are we doing? A lot of people have asked, what's the next steps on the lake? Residents, people that live by there, and sometimes I feel like I'm not giving them enough information, but it's something that this group hasn't talked about. I know what we have options of, but I don't know that anybody has made a final decision on anything at this point. So
I think we had, if I remember correctly, there was like 4 options.
Correct.
And he brought on option 5 that hadn't been
Exactly.
kind of figured out, and he was going to go back to the
And
drawing board.
And that's where a lot of information has been focused on, because
Yeah.
that one is the most economical.
Yeah.
And there is a lot of information that's going to come out about that, and it's probably going to be focused around that one.
This last meeting was 3 hours.
Yes, so I would expect it to be long.
And there's a PDF online if anybody else wants to look at
Yes.
it. It's very informative and it's there.
But we can also bring up other things that we might need to talk about, whether it be the Maplewood or something else project as that gets moving along as well. So, but I do expect it to be in June, so everybody just kind of be prepared for that, because I would expect it to be a 2-hour meeting. It's going to be called a work session. But he's waiting for more information on a couple things before we go down that rabbit hole.
And
So,
are we waiting on Mr. Fisher's information to kind of compare notes and figure out what we want to do?
I don't know that that is going to completely make or break anything, because you could be August, September, October for the second one. Before we can even apply, I think it's August, so you might be even longer before we hear about that. I think, to keep this project moving, and maybe we're gonna need more documentation to send,
Right, you're gonna need.
which way you wanna go.
So we have to fix our decision,
I always assumed that you would, at some point make a decision concerning it and fund the engineering and move forward. Because I think the key issue is that A, you need to engineer plans, because we have to get quotes at some point regardless, even if you can't do it, because we have to know how much we have to apply for. There's lots of money are going to come up regardless each year. Second of all, let's say, for example, we successfully get $1.5 million. One of the long discussions I had with Beatty's office was, you know, Eric, we need to split this because we can only give you so much money. Can you do this in parts? And I said, well, yes, technically we could construct a 4-bay and build it and clear, because a lot of the debris comes in, you know, clear the area around, build a pathway attached to our current pathway, and we have that part done. And then maybe it takes another year for dredging to come in. And we can then do the dredging at the time and restore for our ecosystem restoration at that time and do it then. But it's you having to make a decision, having the plans, you know, we have money to have these engineers, have the permits approved while we're getting, those will still be good, right? All of that's still good.
I guess my concern is if we're gonna go, we have to pick a direction to go in, because engineering also costs money.
Right.
If we don't have a direction, I guess we have one option based on one budget, and then the second option based on a different budget. Those would be two different.
I see them almost working together, right? So honestly, when we originally saw, if you recall, some experts come in, and the ocean lake experts particularly good. And I think it's important to note that you need to probably, if you want to return the lake to a certain depth and a certain ecosystem, you definitively need to dredge it. The problem is, dredging is not a one-time thing without something else to keep it a one-time thing for a much longer period of time. Because crap's still going to come in here. It's both silt and debris are coming down there, and it's falling into the lake. There's two parts of that, so you definitively have to. You have to get that stuff away. And a 4-bay, especially from what the experts said, catches all that crap, and it's much easier for you and cheaper for you to maintain the 4-bay clean out, and the rest of the lake is defended once you dredge it out at some later point, right? So the silt and crap all sits up front over here, and so you can definitively do it in two parts. And
I think the discussion was where we put the debris that we dredge, and I think that did affect our decision.
Right.
That was expensive, I remember.
Yes.
And that's absolutely correct.
But like you said, how much money are we gonna get?
Right.
And that's the thing, is like, where are we gonna put it? One option is if we have more money, we're not gonna put it in one place, we're gonna put it in a different one, or if we don't have enough money, then we have to put it somewhere closer. So I do definitely think that it affects our next step, so I want to be prepared for both options. So Eric, I think I want you to be prepared in that case, and I think you need to be at that meeting.
Okay.
And
We'd already talked about
I
that.
think in our budget, maybe we need to have two options
Right.
to go forward with either one in an expedited manner, depending on what our budget ends up being.
I mean, it's a
That's
very
what I'm
fair
trying to
assessment, right? Having plan A, B, and C are always good in these situations.
Right.
But it's gonna cost us more money in engineering, but I think, I'm just saying this now, that I think we need to think about it to get the most that we can for whenever, we just don't know what our budget is, but we have to get the most for whatever option it is.
I think in some discussions too, in talking to Mike, I think the stuff about, they're still reviewing the technicalities of the crack in the lake itself, the stuff in there. It's not looking too good from the geotech standpoint. You could potentially use it over here. So that, and I'll leave it
That
at
might
that.
go over there.
Yeah.
That's why we're not ready to meet yet.
They're still examining that, and if that's the case, we don't really have much of a choice. So we'll have to see.
Correct. Okay, whatever they can be ready.
Whatever the data is, again, there are pots of money, we'll keep applying for them, I have confidence we'll get some money here and there over time, and so I think it's good to plan for some phases, if nothing else.
All right, next we have Councilperson Martin for Services.
Still working on some leak bids and nothing else from the report.
All right, and then next we have Safety, Councilperson Passion.
No active projects right now on safety.
All right. Well, sorry, Chief. I told you to come for no reason. That was your dry run. So next time we'll be better. Next, mayor's report. So I will make this quick. We're getting the pole installed for the flock camera. We are planning on filling the pool tomorrow. So fingers are definitely crossed on that one. .gov is up and running. So our new website, all that good stuff, is minervapark.gov. So thank you to Barb for coordinating that with half of the world. But we now have new emails, we now have all of that. Our old ones do still work, and we plan on keeping those up and running for several months. But we are actually an official .gov. We did have our pothole fillers come out, so we got some potholes filled. We also did get the bridge fixed for the time being. It's not a permanent fix, but it was really bad. We had to get some stuff done to that. And the biggest news that I have is our fountains and aerators are in, and they look to be getting installed Monday and Tuesday of next week. So super excited about that. And that's all I have. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to email them or ask me.
I have a question about the Nutria, or whatever it is. Did we talk about that last time? Chewing through the cords, or is that a different issue?
Oh, that animal?
Yeah.
Whatever it is? Eric's on the tab for that one, finding out if we can safely have it removed. Other than that, it's gotta get removed. One, not nice way or another. Because,
They're so cute.
$25,000 fountain.
Just structurally cute. That's
Yes.
They are, I agree with that.
I'm not going to to see how cute it is.
Children,
I like those things that,
puppies,
right, also.
anything cute.
Yeah. That's why I'm not going to see it, because it will hurt my feelings. Not gonna go see it.
You want to see a picture?
No, I do not want to see a picture because I'll follow up. So yes, it is something that has now become extremely urgent. So if we can find out what the best option is on that, and then if we have any options, or if anybody has any, I am definitely not a caregiver. I have a lot of job titles, but that's not one of them.
Tommy will adopt them.
Exactly. Tommy, I heard that you were going to take it to your house.
Yes,
Perfect. Perfect.
We just, that's where we're looking at little mountains, very happy.
I know, right?
Dig a big hole under your foundation.
All right. Next, citizen comments. We have 2 citizens. Does anybody would like to speak? I take that as a no. All right, let's move over to legislation.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. All right, moving to the legislation for the evening. We have ordinance 09-2024, and ordinance granting a 25-year franchise to AEP Ohio, its successors, and assigns for the rights to acquire, construct, maintain, and operate in streets, thoroughfares, alleys, bridges, and public places in the village of Minerva Park, state of Ohio, and its successors, lines for the transmission and distribution of electric energy to the village of Minerva Park and the inhabitants thereof for light, heat, power, and other purposes, and for the transmission and distribution of the same within, through, or across said village of Minerva Park, state of Ohio. And as this is the 3rd reading, I move for passage.
Second.
Moved and seconded.
Any discussion? All right, let's start with Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost. Aye. Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
And Councilperson McNamara.
Aye. All right, the motion passes. We now move to ordinance 10-2024, an ordinance to adopt chapter 810.10 to the codified ordinances of the village of Minerva Park, Ohio. And as this is a 3rd reading, I will make motion for passage.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? There's not appear to be.
No, nobody wants to say anything? That's surprising.
All right, let's go. Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost. Aye. Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
All right.
All right. We now move to resolution 2024-11. This is a resolution to amend the rules of council and calendar as was approved in resolution 2024-01 and to declare an emergency. Now, I missed the beginning part of this. Are we intending on going through, or are we still planning on potentially tabling this?
I think it needs to be tabled just to make sure we do this work session dry run a few more times. Because we did a complete fail tonight on a work session. So
I very concerned about the time myself.
Yes, so if this isn't gonna work, then that's why we decided to table it, so I think in my opinion, yes, it needs to be.
In that,
I was here.
yeah, well, in that case, I move to table resolution 2024-11 at this time.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? I don't believe so.
Okay, does this need a roll call or
Yeah,
just?
just
Okay.
all opposed.
Okay, and all those in favor? Any opposed? And any abstentions? All right, so 2024-11 resolution has been tabled.
All right. We now move to resolution 2024-12, a resolution appointing Mr. Brady Oxender and Barbara Sutton as the village designees for the Tax Incentive Review Council and Community Reinvestment Authorities. This is just the first reading.
Are we supposed to use this full name?
And all this is for is we have a meeting once a year that we all attend, and Brady was actually, the original legislation was to include this year. We just included his name on it, but the other person that was on there no longer wants to do it, so we've just added Barbara to it. So, this will be for a meeting that we're gonna have, I believe it's August, yes, it's in August. That's just the first reading.
Yep, just first reading. All right, now we move to resolution 2024-13. This is a resolution to amend and revise the American Park fee schedule and to declare an emergency. This is a first reading, however, we do have the intent to suspend the rules that require the 3 readings and pass emergently. For the folks at home who get jittery about those, can we get a description of what is being changed in the fee schedule?
So there's several things getting changed in there. I don't know if anybody has it pulled up. You're more than welcome to read it and add to it. I think most of the things, we had some people wanting to rent chairs. We have people wanting to rent tents, which didn't make it on there. I believe there's some adjustments to the cruise or the police. Did that get put on there?
Yeah.
For the special duty to stay in the same range as our neighboring communities. And then, did we change the police cruiser as well?
Yes.
Okay, so both of those have been adjusted. If you want to say the amounts or anything, you're more than
No,
welcome.
$2 a chair for the full-length chairs. The special duty officer per hour is now $58 an hour in this. Special duty cruiser is $35, and then it includes the recent passed legislation for the short-term rental registration fee for $250.
And that was the other one, the short term that we just passed a couple seconds ago. That has also been added to it.
All right.
So that's your answer.
Thank you. For the folks at home, I'm sure they appreciate that as well. As we want to get this integrated into our fee schedule and congruent with our ordinances, I move to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings for resolution 2024-13.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on that? All right, Madam Mayor.
Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
All right. Having moved to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings for resolution 2024-13, I move to approve the resolution on an emergency basis.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Madam Mayor.
All right, Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion. Councilperson Grant.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye. All right, resolution passes. We now move to resolution 2024-14, road improvement project. This is a resolution authorizing the mayor and fiscal officers to enter into contract for the 2024 road improvement project and declaring an emergency so we can get our roads fixed in an expeditious manner. On that basis, I move to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings for resolution 2024-14.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? There does not appear to be. Madam Mayor.
All right, Councilperson Cost.
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye.
Councilperson Passion.
Aye.
Councilperson and Councilperson Martin.
Alright, the motion to suspend passes, and on that basis, I move to approve resolution 2024-14 for the road improvement and an emergence banner. Alright, moved and seconded, any discussion?
And just to clarify, this is for Maplewood Drive, correct? This is,
Yes.
rows and curbs? There's gonna be curb delays? No, no curbs, just resurfacing?
No, it's a big project. It includes some sewer issues and drainage issues and the road and all that good stuff. And it was in the amount of, did we at least say that? In the amount of the bid? $210,000.
$210,000.
Not to exceed $210,000. It was a tiny bit over what we were hoping that it was gonna come in at, but not drastically. We did receive 2 bids, and it definitely made us feel good that they were within $1,000 of each other. So we definitely feel like this was the
Honest contract.
Yes, I mean, either that or like I told
Or
Barb,
they texted each other.
or, well, I actually told Barb, I was like, or they use the same software. So, they definitely came in with an agreement. So yeah, that was the update on that.
Wonderful. Alright, so we have the motion to suspend,
All right, and now this is the
motion to approve, alright.
All right, Councilperson Martin,
Aye.
Councilperson Grant,
Aye.
Councilperson Passion,
Aye.
Councilperson Cost,
Aye.
and Councilperson McNamara.
Aye. Alright, the motion passes. We now move to resolution 2024-15, a resolution authorizing the village staff to discard certain municipal personal property not needed for public use. And this is, again, a first reading with the intent to suspend rules and pass emergently. I recall why we were doing this a few weeks ago, but I forget the exact property we were talking about.
The pool chairs.
Yes, the old pool chairs, to get those to a new home.
For the season. And
Yes.
yeah.
So, on that basis, I move to suspend the rules requiring 3 readings for resolution 2024-15.
Second.
Moved and seconded, is there any discussion? Does not appear to be. All right, Madam Mayor.
Councilperson Grant,
Aye.
Councilperson Passion,
Aye.
Councilperson Cost,
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara,
Aye.
Councilperson Martin.
Aye.
All right, the motion to suspend is approved. Now I move to pass resolution 2024-15 on an emergency basis.
Second.
Moved and seconded, any discussion?
All right, Councilperson Cost,
Aye.
Councilperson Martin,
Aye.
Councilperson Passion,
Aye.
Councilperson Grant,
Aye.
Councilperson McNamara.
Aye. The motion carries, and that concludes legislation for this evening, Madam Mayor.
All right, now we will move to old business. So the quick thing that I'm gonna say about old business, since this is now considered old, don't forget Maplewood's actually gonna be closed for a little while this Maplewood project goes on. We will have something in the newsletter that's gonna talk about that, but there are no specific dates at this time. So for updated information, please follow our village website, our village Facebook page, and there will be updates as we get closer to the start of this project. Again, no idea when it's gonna be yet, but we will keep you posted. And that was my old business. Anybody else with old business? Anybody with new business? This is my place. Old business, new business, anybody? Going once, going twice? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.